topic of regretful mothers is so uncomfortable that many people are quick to blame their regrets on a circumstantial factor. And when they do that, not only do they invalidate and negate that mother's feelings, they reduce her feelings to nothing more than a reaction to unfavorable circumstances. This just sounds like postpartum depression, or this sounds like you regret your husband and not your children. You have to be willing to listen to these stories and accept their feelings of regret without immediately trying to make it more palatable.
This video is so good and I have so much to say. At least in America, most little girls are assumed to be future mothers. A lot of people gripe about dolls being used to kind of train us. I don't know how I feel about that because I had so many dolls. I loved dolls, but never ever were my dolls my kids. They were always my sisters. And I never dreamed of being a mom. So that being said, I have seen adults look at a little girl who's like caring for her younger sibling and be like, oh, she's gonna be such a good mommy. Why not just say she's being a really good big sister? She's 3. Why are you thinking about her reproductive future? Now, this part of Kelly's video is something that I've also seen on my own Regretful Parents subreddit reading. So many comments on those videos, which have hundreds of thousands of views, say things like, these women just sound like they have PPD, or seems like they have an unsupportive partner, or it's just hard to have a newborn. And yes, for some parents and couples, those might be accurate. But not only is it dismissive to tell a woman that her unbearable anxiety or rage toward her new child is just PPD, it's also dangerous because dismissing a very real mental health condition makes people feel shame about it. Or it trivializes it, and either one of them can cause someone to not seek out help when they need it. Because if it's just PPD, they're led to believe that it's just temporary and your baby is only a baby once. Do you really want to take out time every week to go to therapy? Plus therapy is expensive. I'm just gonna wait it out. But first, getting help for PPD is recommended. And second, not all parents who suffer from PPD. Sometimes they're just suffering. Sometimes they have an amazing partner and they're still suffering. Sometimes their kids are teens and they're still suffering. And it's especially dangerous because if a parent is told that what they're experiencing is just mental illness or just a bad partner, but she knows that it's not either one of those things, she's going to feel like a failure. I think people want parents, but moms especially, to be nothing but smiley homemakers. But even the ones who appear that way on the outside for the entirety of their parenting might feel differently on the inside. Last year, I read this book called Momfluenced. And in it, the author talks about how amazing her mom was, how she was the most attentive, loving mom who adored every second of being a mother. But once her mom was in her senior years, the mom actually revealed to the author that she felt like she'd wasted her life. She felt unappreciated and that she hadn't been able to do everything she wanted to in life because she had pushed all those things aside to be a mother. And if your response to that is, she should realize that raising kids is the best thing a woman could ever do, you're doing exactly what Kelly says people do. You're telling a woman that she can't possibly be feeling what she says she's feeling. No, come on, you love your kids. You love every second of being a mom. You must just be having a bad day. Or maybe she's actually unhappy and has regrets. Most people have regrets, and it's illogical to think that children could never be one of those regrets. And here's why comments like this are dangerous. Why do you want so badly for everyone to see children as a blessing? How does someone else's choice affect you? Because let's say that I go, okay, you're probably right. Kids are a blessing, and I have a kid. What if I don't see that kid as a blessing? Your response will then be, some people don't deserve to be parents. Okay, we've been saying that not everyone should be parents from day one. But comments like this are exactly what Kelly is talking about. People think that every woman who says she doesn't want kids will definitely 100% be overjoyed once that kid comes out. That motherhood is this happy one-size-fits-all experience. But statistically, that's impossible because you have to take into account race, money, access to resources, family, health conditions, partners. These things are different for each and every person. You wouldn't tell someone, you think body modification is gross, but that's only because you haven't done it yet. Or you don't want an iguana just because you don't have an iguana. Everyone who gets an iguana becomes an iguana fanatic. No one expects any other experience to be enjoyed by 100% of the people who do it. And kids don't come with a return policy. Once you have one, you're kind of stuck. Although there are ways that people have become unstuck from their children. How many more people would you like to take that out? However, I also think that's part of the plan for commenters like this. They don't actually care whether you want the baby after it's born. They just want you to have the baby.